This is Dr. Khwaja recording the instructions for Genova's one-day GI effects. So these are basically all the contents of the box, and that's all that'll come out from there. What I've done is I've spread all the contents like this, and I would suggest that you also do the same. When you open the box, remove all the content and spread them out like this so that it's clear you know exactly what all things are, and look at each of the things one at a time. The first thing I would recommend is always first go to the instructions sheet. This is the one-day collection instructions sheet, and I would recommend that you always go to the instructions sheet first, because if you don't read this, and of course everything will be abstract to you, but if you read this, things will become very clear. So just to go over the things, these are the labels that you will have to, first thing you want to do is, these are all the labels, and what you will do is you'll affix each of these labels onto all these tubes, and preferably at an area site where it does not cover this location. For example, it's asking you to put the patient's name, ID number, date, and all this information. So I recommend don't affix the label on top of it, but affix the label somewhere like over here, the blank part of this thing, so that it doesn't cover the relevant information. So I will put it on the blank part over here, the blank part over here, the blank part over here, and of course the blank part over here. The labels will get affixed onto the blank parts. Okay, that's the first step you do. Number two, get a marker and put your name, your date of birth, the date on which you're intending to collect the stool sample, and the time whichever you're about to collect the stool sample. If you plan to do it the next day, then write the time in the morning, like and then date of the next day. You can always write the time later on if you want to, but you should have an idea. So once you kind of labeled all these, I just want to also show you that this is the requisition slip. This is basically, without this the test will not be done. So basically I will have signed this over here. This is this information on the right, on this side it gives information about our practice, and I will have signed over here. And of course this part I will also checked out. You pretty much do the GI effects over here, and of course we also do some add-ons over here for the GI effects if we need to, but we will the one who will mark all these for you, and of course we will mark all this for you before giving it to you. And this the back end of this sheet is the place where we want you to fill up the entire thing in its entirety. The first one is your general information, then it asks you about your insurance information, then it asks you for your credit card billing over here, and of course then it's a little disclaimer of your patient responsibility. So please make sure that you fill the back end of this whole sheet of paper in its entirety. Do not leave anything blank. Please make sure that you submit the payment that we've quoted to you in your test recommendation sheet with this requisition slip. Please do not send it without payment. Always send payment with whatever we have quoted you on your test recommendation sheet. And of course, like I told you, the first part of the page is something that we sign, and the second part of the page is what you fill out in its entirety. And this will eventually then go in this sleeve over here. And another more thing, yeah, the day of collection you need to write on this upper left hand corner of the side. Always write the day of specimen that you collected it, and it says day 1, of course, consistency, and then color, just write it over here. And this eventually then goes over here in the sleeve. So that's number 1 step. Then number 2 step is you basically go to the bathroom and you basically collect a stool sample in this little container they've given you. I don't know who wears gloves when they go to the bathroom, but if you are one of those people who wears gloves when you collect stool samples, or you just go, you're most welcome to wear this thing. If not, it's okay also without it. But basically you collect the stool sample in here, and once you do that, you take the first green bottle, and as you can tell that when you open it up, there will be a little spoon kind of a thing over here that you will actually take, and you will go through the different parts in the stool and collect from different areas, and then keep on putting inside. And I also want to point out that you can see a red line over here. Do not overfill above this red line. Again, I repeat, do not overfill above this red line. Once you fill up till here, you then shake it for 30 seconds and make it all a nice uniform smooth medium in there. Then of course you go to the orange top. Again, there's a red line over here. Do not go above this red line, please, and fill the stool up till here. Then you shake it good for 30 seconds and make it all smooth. And you can see this also has a nice like a little spoonish thing in front of it, which you will take, and if this is what has a stool sample, you collect stool sample from different areas of the this dish, and then put it in there, and then you close it nicely. You go to the third pink bottle, and then you go to the white one and basically collect. This white one, as you can tell, has no liquid in it, so you fill again the stool all the way up to here, the red line. Okay, just please make sure that you look at the red line over here. You fill the stool up to the red line. Do not fill it above the red line. And then the last one, you take this there's a swab in here, there's a little tube in here. You open it up, and if you notice, there's an indentation on this swab over here. So you take it, they take the swab out, and you put that in the stool, different part of the stool, dip it in the stool, and then you open this orange cap thing, and you actually insert the swab inside this orange tube, and then you break it off at this indentation that's shown over here. If you look closely, there's a little indentation right over here. Okay, you can see that indentation. And then of course you break it off and leave the swab inside, and then you shake it up a little bit, and basically then this tube actually also goes with the other samples. And also make sure that this tube is also labeled. A few things about before collection, it's mentioned in here. Again, I told you to read the instructions very carefully. What it tells you is that if you have had a colonoscopy or barium enema before starting this test, then you need to kind of make sure that it's been at least 4 weeks. Then if you're taking any antibiotics, any antifungals, probiotics, then you should stop them at least for 4 weeks before doing the test. And discontinue any proton pump inhibitors or bismuth at least 14 days prior. And then if you actually are taking aspirin or some kind of ibuprofen, rectal suppositories, enemas, activated charcoal, bismuth, hydrochloric acid, digestive enzymes, laxatives, mineral oil, castor oil, or bentonite clay, don't use it for at least 2 days prior to the test. And of course, if you are having any active bleeding, then of course we recommend that you don't collect the sample. And whenever you do collect the sample, make sure that it is shipped from Monday through Friday within 24 hours of the collection. These all instructions are written very clearly over here in this section, and I recommend that you read them very carefully and make sure that you are following. If you are taking any supplements, then at least basically you don't take it for 2 weeks prior to that, so that we are good. And of course, on the second page, it says that you completely fill out, the requisition slip, and you label everything out. And of course, I've gone over the thing that you start with the green top, then pink, orange, and then so you kind of line them up in the bathroom whenever you are about to collect the stool samples, that you know exactly how to do it, and so they're all readily available to you. After all is collected, you of course throw away. They give you a black bag. You throw away trash, everything in there. I think you can just wash the stool from here and recycle this thing. So this goes on the side, and now you can put all these samples, inside these containers, and these biohazard bags. Over here also the biohazard bag, and you put that in here, and you can see the blotting paper in there. Do not remove that because it's designed to kind of absorb any leakage if God forbid it happens. And of course this also goes in here. This goes in here also. And so you have these two collection samples, and now you open this box and you put these inside it. And I recommend you refrigerate. Do not freeze, but you only refrigerate it. I repeat, you do not freeze, you refrigerate it. And of course now you come to the FedEx label, which is this is just some instruction about the shipping. Again, since it is Monday through Friday, please make sure that it is shipped on that day. There is a Saturday delivery also, so you'll be good even if you ship on Friday, but make sure that whenever you actually drop it at the FedEx facility, it is before the last drop or pickup from that location. If the last pickup from that location is 6 p.m., you should not drop it after 6 p.m. You should drop it before 6 p.m., like 5:30. Do not wait the last second. Call the FedEx facility closest to your home where you'll be dropping off your sample and ask them when is the last pickup. And once you know the last pickup, please drop it before that. Do not drop it out. Otherwise, the sample will sit there for the entire night and they'll sit there the entire day and they'll go the next day out. So you don't want that. And what if you drop on Friday night, then it won't even go Saturday night and then Sunday, and it'll go on Monday night. So it'll be sitting there in the facility for a good 3 days, and we don't want that happening. So that is why I recommend that please don't mess up over here. Make sure that whenever you drop it off at the FedEx delivery site, it is dropped off before the last pickup from that location. And of course, you basically affix this thing on top of this thing over here. You fix it, and then this open over here, this thing will go inside it, and of course this will be affixed over here, and now it's ready to be shipped, and that will take care of your instructions for the GI effects. Thank you for watching. One last thing I forgot to mention in my previous video, that there's a Promise 29 Profile V2O survey. You need to fill this out. There are 2 pages of it. Please fill out it in its entirety. And this also goes along with your entire shipment as it's going to the FedEx for shipment. Okay, I forgot to mention that in the previous video, so here it is. Thank you.